Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are in Kutaisi, Georgia.
We are in Kutaisi, which is the third largest city in Georgia. Apparently, this is one of the oldest continuously inhabited places in the world. There are around 125,000 people living in Kutaisi, which is quite a lot smaller than Tbilisi. We're here in the winter, so there's not that much to do. We're mostly just gonna walk around and explore. And we only have a few more days in Georgia, so we wanna eat as much as we can. This video is mostly gonna be focused on food because there's still some dishes we haven't tried yet. So let's go and let's fill up our bellies.
But before we go out and stuff our bellies, we decided to come here to Bagrati Cathedral because it's atop this hill. It overlooks the city. You get these incredible views everywhere. I think this cathedral was built in like the 11th century, so it's extremely old. And throughout the centuries, they actually attempted to rebuild it because it got destroyed many times throughout the years. I think there was a project set in motion in 1950 that was meant to restore it, but I think it was a little bit controversial because, of course, they were replacing all these really old parts. So I think it was put on a list of protected cathedrals through UNESCO so that they couldn't change too much of it. But it looks super old school, super cool, and again, incredible views of Kutaisi up here. So definitely worth a visit. We decided to start our day off at this beautiful restaurant called Cafe Fleur. Now, we actually only have 2 days here left in Georgia, and even though it's probably like 11 o'clock right now, we decided to start our breakfast, our morning, with some Georgian beer and wine. And I have a natakai. I think that's kind of how you pronounce it, so cheers. And as you can tell, it is super windy out here, but even though it is December, we wanted to enjoy these last moments of sunshine before it gets too cold. So, delicious Georgian beer.
Cheers. I got a dry wine. It's delicious. And I wonder if Georgians start drinking at 11 a.m. like we do. I think they should, because their wine's really good.
And day drinking's the best.
Yeah, and like Brandon said, this is our last chance to have some Georgian wine, so we had to start early.
Our first dish has now arrived, and this is called Imeruli Khachapuri. I've heard that this is the most popular type of Khachapuri in all of Georgia, and it actually comes from this region, which is why we decided we had to get it when we were here in Kutaisi. We've had a similar version of this before called lobiani, which is stuffed with beans, but we got it from like a local bakery. So looked very different than this, but it was filled like this, I think, and it's more almost thin and crepe-like than some of the other ones that we've had. Oh, it is so cheesy, smells delicious, and this is also filled with local cheeses specific to this region, which is why we had to get it. Let's dig in.
It almost looks like cottage cheese inside.
That is so cheesy, very salty and savory, a little bit doughy and bready. How can you go wrong?
We also ordered another one. I think the staff here thinks we're crazy for ordering two because they're gigantic, but for the video, we just have to.
For science.
For science. This one is even cheesier. It's called Las Voyo here, but maybe the name usually is what? Lazuri, you said?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently it has 3 types of cheese in the middle, on top, and then there's like another like triangle. This looks delicious. That is so good. That's like kind of salty, just so cheesy. The dough is so delicious. It's like the best, cheesiest, salty pizza you've ever had, basically, but better. Like, I don't know if it's like offensive to call this a pizza because it's so much better. This is delicious.
Our friends, If We Go To, who also have a YouTube channel, ordered this when we met with them and went to a Georgian restaurant, and we tried a little piece of it and it was incredible. So let's see how this one compares. So much cheese. So salty and savory, incredibly cheesy. Probably one of the cheesiest things I've ever eaten in my life, to be honest. It's just so good. We are definitely not gonna be able to eat all this. We're gonna take it with us, but for now, let's just dig in and enjoy this.
I think the Imeruli one is actually quite different. This one does not remind me of pizza as much. So I don't know which one I like better. I think it's actually a wise decision that we got both. because you just have to try both, even if that means you'll eat it for the next 3 days. Yum.
We now came to a super popular spot here for locals called Bikentia's Kebab. And the dish we are going to try is called a Lula Kebab. Apparently this is super popular all throughout the Caucasus regions, also in Armenia, but of course here in Georgia as well. I think it's made from beef. Sometimes it can be made with lamb as well. It's also served with this chilled tomato sauce and it's topped with raw onion and it looks like parsley as well. This looks delicious. It's also served with like half a loaf of bread. All right, I don't know if this is too big of a bite, but who cares? That is honestly way better than I imagined. It's so crispy and crunchy on the outside, and it is packed with flavor. It's so spicy. It's like it has like chili powder, maybe like cumin and things like that. It's got like these little crispy bits on the outside, obviously where it's been fired on a kind of like a charcoal grill or something. That is so good. And of course the bread is a nice accompaniment with it. This sauce is also really delicious and a little bit spicy. You can either order this with beer or Georgian lemonade or lemonada. And you can get the lemonade in a bunch of different flavors. There's pear, apple, peach, berry, and in this case we got tarragon, which is super interesting. It really smells like tarragon as well. And if you don't know what tarragon is, it's kind of an herb that has a licoricey kind of smell. It's so weird, it's so brightly green. Let's try it. It's actually really good. It's super sweet. You don't really expect it because it's tarragon. It's like a licoricey kind of flavor, but this is like basically a soda. Even though it's lemonade, I don't even think most of them have lemons in it. So Georgians in the comments, let me know, why is this called lemonade if there's no lemons? But either way, it's delicious.
That's delicious. I don't think it's lamb.
No, it's definitely beef. I don't even necessarily taste pork. I feel like it's maybe just beef.
No, I think it's pork. I think the German in me tastes it. Yeah, it is a bit spicy, but just a little bit. I can still handle it. I really like the onions on top and the, what is this, parsley? Yeah, I really like that. It just tastes really like stewed tomatoes with like a nice piece of pork beef kebab in it. Yum. Oh, that's so weird. It tastes like sambuca, but very sweet and obviously no alcohol. That's interesting. It looks like a drink we drink in Germany called Waldmeister. It's also green like this. Yeah, interesting. And in Germany we actually call soda lemonade too, limonade, so it's not that weird. I like this. We're now in this little alley that has all this super nice street art because I feel like Kutaisi has quite a lot of it. It's really nice.
I think it's called the Wall of Love, actually.
And we also just went to the shop and we got a magnet because we always get a magnet for every country, and we got a food one because we love food.
And we especially love Georgian food. It's delicious.
Pkhali and Khachapuri. We now came to one of the market halls in Kutaisi. I think it's the Green Bazaar, I'm not quite sure. But they have all these delicious looking things. They have cheese and churchkhela, bread and fruit and wine. They have everything. And yeah, we love market halls. So let's see what we can get here.
The Green Bazaar and the Central Agricultural Market seem to be very, very local. You definitely don't see a lot of tourists here. There's a bunch of super nice Georgian grandmas and grandpas all selling their goods, fruits, vegetables, everything, as Anya said. We actually just bought a couple things and they were super friendly. Honestly, some of the most pleasant interactions that we've had in Georgia so far. So we're really excited to try some of these snacks out.
So we decided to get some churchkhela. I'm not quite sure if I'm ever going to be able to pronounce that right. We already tried these in Tbilisi. It's this Georgian candy that they make out of nuts and grape juice, I think, but also fruit, because this one actually has dried fruit and nuts. It's a mix. And we also got a green one. I think that might be kiwi. And then we got this one, and it's hazelnuts inside. So they're completely different than the ones we had in Tbilisi.
Yeah, so far the ones we've had have only been with walnuts, so this will be interesting.
And one of the ladies didn't have change for us. And we were like, oh, that doesn't matter, it's fine. And she then insisted that we take some hazelnuts as change.
Super
So
nice.
we get some hazelnuts too. I really want to try this hazelnut one. I'm going to start with this end though, because this one is just juice.
Looks like you killed somebody with that thing. I mean, I feel like most people start from the other end, don't they?
I don't know what flavor it is, but it's interesting because it is quite different than the other one because of the type of nut. I like it. The outside is a lot more like gummy bear, but a little more grainy than the other ones we've had. Yum. I really like these. These are totally my jam.
Again, we have no way of knowing which flavors we are buying, so maybe you can let us know in the comments. I'm not sure that we'll even be able to tell. Let's see. I honestly still don't know what it is. It's really hard to distinguish because there's so much nut in here. I feel like it's like 75 to 80% walnut and then the rest grape juice, or kiwi juice. So it's kind of hard to tell. This is really good. And as you can see, these look and feel a lot more homemade than the ones that we had in Tbilisi, which I really, really like. I'm sure that the grandma herself dipped these into the grape juice and made them. So that makes it feel even more special. But I feel like you can't go wrong no matter which one you choose. They're all delicious.
I don't know how I'm going to eat this because I really want to try the fruit.
You have to bite 2 inches down.
I think it might be a prune.
Really?
Now this tastes even more than one of those raw date bars because you have the dried fruit and the nut. Yeah, I really like this one. Yum. So we also got a little sample of Georgian cheese. I'm excited. It's really salty. It's a lot harder than the stuff that we had before. I like it. It's good. Yum.
So of course we could not come to Georgia without trying Georgian wine. We had some here and there, we had some earlier in the video, but we never went to an actual wine cellar. So we came to a place called Wine Corner to try a variety of Georgian wines. Now, as you can see, we have a white, we have a red, and we have an amber wine, which is made in the clay pot or the Kebabery. He told us how to say it in Georgian. He said they call it different things in West Georgia and East Georgia, but we are here in the West, so I guess here it is a Kebabery. So this is by far the one I am the most excited for, but I think I'm going to start with the red. So cheers. We just asked him to give us whatever his recommendations are. This one is a semi-sweet red wine. Oh, that is delicious. It's a little bit smoky, but it's not too smoky. I don't like it when wines are overly smoky. So this is like the perfect balance. It is really sweet, definitely not dry at all. This is honestly probably one of the better red wines we've had. It almost reminds me of the bull's blood that we had in Hungary, which I'm a huge fan of, so I love this.
That is so weird because I feel like I've never really had a sweet and smoky wine. Red wine is not really my favorite. It's still good. This one's delicious. Let me try the white. It's so sweet. It tastes like grapes and pears.
It should taste like
No.
grapes. It is made of
I
grapes.
wanted to say pears actually. It tastes like pears. I don't know. It's just like super sweet and fruity.
If you don't know, Georgia is actually considered the birthplace of wine, or at least one of the birthplaces of wine. I think they've been making wine for like 5,000 years or more, something like that. And they do make it in an unusual way where I think they dig a hole and they have these clay pots and then they kind of ferment it underground. Correct me if I'm wrong, we are not wine experts by any means. And this particular wine, the amber wine, I think they macerate it with the seeds, the skins, and also sometimes even the stems, which is how it gets this unique orange color. So let's try it. That is very unique. It does taste similar to a white wine, but a little bit different. There's something about it that's just different. It's also very grapey, as Anya said, a little bit sweet, super tasty. I still think that I like the red wine the best, but this is definitely close second.
It tastes a little bit less sweet, more sour. I feel like I like this one the most.
Really?
Because I prefer sour dry wines. It has a bit like of a cider taste.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like almost like this fermented kind of flavor that isn't quite the same as normal wine.
I like that. It's delicious. Another thing which the waiter brought to us as a gift is this chacha. We already had chacha, which is kind of like the Georgian brandy, I guess they have here. But he said this one is actually aged for 5 years.
In an oak barrel.
In an oak barrel, and that's why it has this orange color. The other one is clear. I assume maybe this one's even stronger. I don't know, I'm scared.
He said it's meant to be smoother than a regular one though.
The wine glasses are also humongous. These shots are humongous. I don't know what he's trying to do to us.
Get us wasted.
Is he gonna like drag us into the wine cellar and
Stop.
Oh, I know, but this is smoother. It's it's so strong. It's good though. It's definitely gonna do the trick. I don't know if I'm gonna be here for the next part. If I'm gonna be under the table.
That is a really good white wine as well. All of these wines are delicious, but I am very excited about this free chacha. We've had this, I think, 3 times already since we've been in Georgia. I love hard liquor. I love a burn, so cheers. I think it's smoother than a normal one. I don't know what you're talking about. This is really good.
Stronger though.
I don't know. We've had some pretty strong ones that kind of burn your lips straight off. This is really nice. It almost smells a little bit different than a regular one as well. This is so good. We're probably gonna be wasted after all this delicious Georgian wine and chacha, but it's just gonna increase our appetite for this delicious Georgian meal that we're gonna have later on after this.
Wine corner was super awesome. I really liked sitting outside, even though it's super windy. It was a super nice atmosphere and the staff was super friendly. And we also only paid less than $10 for all our glasses of wine together, which is crazy. They were massive. So yeah, definitely go there.
Yeah, I'm honestly curious if that was the real price or if he just gave us a discount because he was super nice, because that was incredibly cheap. Like, it was hard to believe. But now we are hungry, we've worked up an appetite, so let's go eat. We now came to a place called Palati for some traditional Georgian cuisine. Now, this place was highly, highly rated online, and when I looked up Reddit posts of local Georgian places to try here in Kutaisi, this was one that came up pretty much every single time. So we decided to come here, and we grabbed ourselves a fresh lemonade. We already tried lemonade in this video, but this is freshly made, so I'm sure it's gonna be even better. That's really good. It's like orangey. I don't know that it's lemon either. Maybe it's a mix of lemon and orange. Really refreshing, really nice. Makes me even more excited for this Georgian meal.
Yeah, more like orange and lemon juice. It's not really lemonade. It's not carbonated. It's delicious though.
We now have our appetizer, which is called pkhali. And what this is minced or ground vegetables. It can be anything, like cabbage, eggplant, spinach. It also has a bunch of chopped walnuts inside. I think it's made with onions, vinegar, spices, all sorts of things. And I'm very curious, if you are from Georgia, do you just eat it straight up like this, or do you put it on bread or something like that? Because this looks like it would be a spread to me, but let's just try it. It's topped with pomegranates as well. This is really delicious, but I do think that this would be great on some fresh bread.
They have really nice buns here. They're even warm. And I don't know if you eat this with bread, but I will. I actually asked the staff member, and this is the spinach version. So I'm not sure if we ordered the wrong thing because we wanted the mix, but this is only the spinach one. But I love spinach. Let me spread this.
Ooh, nice crunch.
Yeah, you can taste the nuts. I feel like it's spinach, nuts, and I don't know, cheese or something. But yeah, this is delicious. I would eat this every day for breakfast, because I love dips for breakfast. The next dish we got is chicken and garlic water. This kind of looks like chicken wings, but delicious chicken wings, and they smell so garlicky. Let's see. That chicken is so moist, almost I don't know, like it's stewed or something. Like, so juicy. These are good.
Originally, I was looking this up and I thought that this was chkmeruli, this dish with chicken in milk in garlic. So I'm not sure if this is the same or if it's a variation or if this is a completely different dish, because actually for this one, the Georgian name is not on the menu, so I'm not really sure what the normal name is. And it looks like this is like a half chicken all cut up. It looks so good. I'm gonna try a thigh. Just cut myself some chicken. Let's dip it into this garlic. Yeah, it's tender, crispy on the outside. It's actually not as garlicky as I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like a huge punch in the face with garlic, but it's just really nice and really subtle. It's a very simple dish, but it is so delicious. We're now gonna try a dish called chakapuli, which is apparently one of the most popular dishes in Georgia. It is a stew which can be made with, I think, beef, or in this case, veal. It's also made with white wine, and I think sour cherry plums, and also a bunch of tarragon, which is where all this green color comes from. So I'm expecting this to be a bit sour and a little bit licoricey. It's gonna be a strange combination, but I'm excited. Let's try this broth first. That's really nice and comforting. It may be a very strange comment to make, but this broth is so hearty and beefy that it almost reminds me of having pho. I mean, we used to live in Vietnam, so that is a dish that is very close to my heart, but this is even better. Let's try some of this meat. There's
really
big
tender.
chunks. I mean, it is veal, so it should be very tender. This is incredibly unique. This flavor is also new to me. That's why I don't really have many things to compare it to, but it's really good. I'm not even the biggest fan of tarragon, but this is delicious, and I can see why Georgians love this dish.
It almost has like a sweetness to it, but it's also very salty. That meat's so tender, but it is weird because it almost has this gummy bear flavor to me. Like it tastes like there's a pho broth with a hint of gummy bear.
Gummy bear?
Like because of the sour cherry plums, I think. So yeah, it's like beef broth with sour gummy bears. It's good though. It probably doesn't sound good, but it's good.
I don't know about gummy bears, but I love the sour mixed with the herbaceous tarragon and just like this nice concentrated meaty flavor. Yeah, this is so good. I don't know which dish I like the most. I think maybe the chicken, but every single one of these things is delicious.
This place is also really cute. It has really chill music, and there's all these post-it notes on the walls where I guess you can leave a note, your YouTube channel, or your names.
We totally have to do
here.
that.
There's like a piano and an old record player, and it's just all very...
The vibe.
It's a cool vibe, yeah. I really like it, and the food is delicious.
The restaurant is now empty. We're the only ones left, and we decided to order ourselves some Georgian dessert. And we got something called pelamushi, which is this grape juice porridge, is what they called it. I think it's made with cornmeal and grape juice, and then obviously it's topped with what looks like shaved walnuts, and then walnuts as well on top, and then some grapes. So this looks very unique, very Georgian, so let's try it.
It was all jiggly, like jelly.
Definitely tastes like grape. It almost tastes like a liquefied churchkhela. That's what it tastes like. Like you took one and you ground it up with grape juice and walnuts. That's what it tastes like. It's not too sweet, just a little bit. Good way to end the meal.
Tastes like grape sauce, like if it was applesauce with grape sauce, but
Just blended up a bunch of grapes.
but harder.
Yeah.
It was super fruity, yeah, almost like a smoothie as well, like a hard smoothie.
Grape smoothie made in jello form.
It's so good. It kind of tastes healthy because it's fruity, and I like that there's walnuts. I was saying to Brandon before, I wonder, are there any Georgian people who have nut allergies?
Because I feel like you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, there's nuts in everything. I love it. But some people might have a problem. This is yummy. The food was delicious. We're so full. We can't eat anymore or drink anymore. This is the end of our time in Kutaisi. If you haven't seen our other video, we actually have another video in Tbilisi where we ate a bunch of other delicious Georgian food. In case you feel like we missed something in this video, make sure you check the other one out.
But that is it for this trip, so if you did like it, give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for now. See you all in the next one.
Bye!